Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ali Unscripted. I am so excited to be here talking to you guys today. We are going to go through a little, not little, a major educational video of educational talk, conversation, chat, because I want you guys to really take what I say and think about if it applies to your life. It might not, but if you click on this video, it might just interest you in some way. Um, because I have not been on YouTube in a hot minute. Mind you, I've been on YouTube, but I have not made a video in a hot minute. And I want to have a conversation about that. If you see behind me, this here is this right. Let me point to it. Bam. This right here is my progress report. So all the green are chapters I have already revised. So if you do not know, I had the incredible, and I'm not hyping her up. The incredible master theorist, actually, Sonia Suzette Williams, who is based in Barbados, as my mentor, as the person who helped do the developmental edits, which were very, very heavy because unknowingly I wrote my first, second, third because I revised that a lot of times before I got an editor. I wrote that pretty much a lot of the chapters like a film script, not realizing that's what I was doing. Not saying that I had it like in the middle, this and that, but I didn't have that much description. I focused heavily on dialogue, way more than description and settings and places. So I pretty much rewrite the whole book if we're gonna talk about it. And I had a lot. Sorry y'all, oh my goodness, I had over 70,000 words. Even not saying like I did have description, but it was heavily dialogue, so I had to like do a lot over, right? And this is during the main brunt of COVID because I think I'm based in the Caribbean, I'm based in the Bahamas, and you guys, I think, stem from different Caribbean islands as well as the US. So I do believe the US also became affected with COVID early 2020. The Bahamas became affected in March 2020. The US had already had their first case. This season was the end of 2020, and when I mean end, I mean December, going into 2021. During this time, I was working on a film project, an independent film project that I thought I could do by myself and just hire the people I need, but realizing, oh no, that doesn't work that way, and all that stuff. But today, I wanted to talk about it because, not talk about that, because I said this is educational, right? I want to talk today about, and I'm having a bad hair day, so girls, please. Oh, I'm so sorry if this is shifting. So sorry about that. I wanted to talk today about escapism and being a writer. Being a writer, trying to figure out who you are, giving yourself grace, all that stuff. On YouTube, I was so obsessed. I loved watching YouTube writers, and a lot of them really put an expectation to me that was not realistic for someone who was me. A lot of them wrote their books within months or within a year, and I guess you could say I did write the first draft within a year, but a lot of their process was fairly quickly, or I interpreted as I need to meet them or be as close to them as possible. But I am, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, y'all. This lane, oh my goodness, stop it, camera, not you. Camera, you stop sliding. My things don't slide. Like, why is it doing this? Because I have abandoned it for so long, and it's like, no, you're gonna need to behave today. With that said, you are a writer. You are a wannabe writer. If you are writing, you are a writer. Now, you might not be a published writer, but you are a writer. And you have to understand who you are. You have to realize what you are capable of. I shut out my friends. Thank God they were understanding and supportive. But I really did not have a social life. And that's what I was taught. That on Writer YouTube, like you get your book out. You you don't go these places, or you do it very um you don't do it as frequently, and you just make life adjustments, which I get in some ways. But in COVID time, in times of mourning, in times of career change, in times of whatever, it's never good to shut people out. Um, I hope one thing that all of us have learned from COVID is that what is life, and I believe that our books are needed. Like what we have in our brains, once it's sanctified, don't be trying to do all type of crazy stuff. And mind you, I like all the fantasy and stuff like that. Maybe not all of it, but I do like fantasy. So I'm not like saying like don't write weird things. I'm just saying that really understand the impact that your imagination can have on the world, and that it can be good or it can be extremely negative. And even though you have an imagination, you have to make sure that it's serving the people you're called to serve. Mind you, I have a whole I was about to say one of the scenes, but like I said, my book isn't like happy go lucky type of thing. But I'm just saying, like, just make sure at the end of the day, the overall purpose of it is gonna do more good than evil. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm pretty much trying to tell you. Make sure you consciously know what you're letting out there and how this can affect people. That's all I gotta say. That's Mama Alex for you. Let's go back to Sissy Ali. In the Bahamian culture, that does not sound right, but who cares? Escapism. I'm sorry about this. I just realized about that. Escapism. So, a lot of us as writers had chose reading and writing as a form of escaping. And it's not something that you can easily just turn off and turn on. It doesn't work that way, right? So you need to seriously make sure that as you are growing as a writer, you're also growing as a person. Because one thing escapism does is that it helps you to get through the days and the nights where life is pretty boring, or you're sad or depressed, or you need a good distraction. But there comes a point when you have to face whatever that thing or things are. Sorry. And in a time like COVID, in a time when life stresses happen, it can be easy to revert back to escapism. And I don't think that we should live that way. I think that healing takes a lot. And I was only planning on taking a month off before I revised, because pretty much all I was doing is taking her notes and edit and revising like stuff, right? And towards the ending of the book, as you see, some of the top ones, oh my goodness, chapter 1 to 4, I'm touching that. They're gonna be the last things I touch, because they're probably like the most needed, and the bottom ones, touching, right? So I was only supposed to take like a month off. I think my editing and classes mentorship with Miss Williams, Sonia, because she'd be like, who's Miss Williams? Sonia ended like June, July. And that's only because like there was like 3 weeks where both of us had family stuff going on, sickness, death, all that stuff. So yeah, so let's say around June, July, I was only supposed to take a month off, rest my brain. Hallelujah! I was so happy just to be done, because it was like a weekly thing, right? And I was just ready. I was ready to have my first summer vacation, and I went back, and I don't know if I cried, but I know like I just couldn't do it. And I felt so crappy that I couldn't do it because I'm like, Alex, this is the last time. Once you finish with this, you only have to let one person just like read through it and you could start querying. I'm like, you're so close to querying. And I wanted to query by December, or I at least want to be able to query, jumpstart querying, because they say you shouldn't do it around holidays, so like Thanksgiving, Christmas, not even probably even New Year's. Yeah, so like, but I wanted to like when the New Year's I just jump like be ready to query, and as you can see, that did not happen. And the reason that did not happen was because of several reasons. Um, but one of the things is that I crash. I crashed because I wasn't going out. I wasn't having community. I had t- a really emotionally unstable work environment. I had issues with family. I had death, Lord, not deaths, death. But I could say deaths because some were family, some were people that I knew. And writing became something I just was like, okay, I just need to get this one thing done. This is something I can control. And when I took that break and I came back, I just could not do it. And I said, okay, I'll just give myself a month or just probably the rest of the summer, or until my film project. Because remember, at this time, I was doing the film of Hope for the Bahamas, and that wasn't working out. That was very stressful, very stressful. And that was my first independent film project. Um, and all that stuff was coming together. And I just was like, you know what? I need this book out. I need people to know the stories of Davian and Jabez and Tamika and Zena and Howard. Those are like some of the characters, right? I need them to know this story because these are stories that I can see around me. Not like I could pinpoint one person to a character, but these are things like I want people to read the book and be like, this is me. Like I want it, like I know this book is needed. So I reach a point where I was like, I know this is needed, but I am about to break and break hard. So I think I need to pause. I knew I was not stopping. I knew I was not letting go. I knew I needed to pause right now before I I don't know what could have happened. And I say all of this to say that the only thing that's consistent in this world is God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, Abba Father. That's the only consistent. There is no consistency in this world that we live in. And as much as I thought I was okay with change and how I didn't have an issue with control, I realized I did, because I realized everything around me was crashing down. Even like pressures I put on myself that no one else gave me, I put them on myself, and it was crumbling and I didn't know what to do. As a writer, we hear stories of, I like to use painters because I believe painters and writers are so closely alike in the way we think and go through our creative process, right? We would hear the stories of the painters cutting off the ear and going depressed and drinking themselves mad and just be like, and we kind of like accepted that is what a writer is. A writer is just passionate and just emotional, and this is, relax. You are a human first. Before you are mom, dad, sister, brother, you are human first. Before you are a writer, you are human first. And to be the most healthiest and strongest and quality filled writer, you need to understand who the hell you are. I truly believe there are some careers that you're more prone to depression. There's studies of that. Now I don't know where writers fall on that list, but I see that this is a thing. I see that one of my favorite writer YouTubers came off YouTube, not to put attention on her, but like she came off YouTube like And people now talking about like the stresses and the depression and like keeping up with whoever. And at the end of the day, you want you to live through your book. You don't want you to die and then someone publish it and make all the money off of your writing. No, you don't. You have to slow down, and you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest, and you have to see if you need a break. You have to see if you're using writing as a control mechanism. I don't even know if that's a thing, but like a way that you can hold on to one thing that you can control with your life, or have an unrealistic expectation. Oh my goodness, I used to be a professional planner. I retired. That I don't call myself that anymore. And I can tell you, I had a very unrealistic expectation, unrealistic schedule that I created. And some of them things honestly wasn't even like mandatory. I just wanted them there. I needed them there. I didn't think it was good enough to do certain things just 2 times a week. I had to do it at least 5 times. I had to do things at least 6 times. There should be no break in between. There should be no 8 hours. You're not supposed to sleep 8 hours when you have dreams and you're in your 20s. This is a time when you work, and you hustle and you don't sleep. That is bull crap. You will not make it. You would be miserable. You would make all your friends when you're done rich, and by that time your habits are done. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. This amount isn't enough. These books are not enough. This relationship is not enough. You've already programmed in yourself that whatever you do is never going to be enough. This is not going to be after this book. It's not going to be after this book. You'll cool down. No, because you'll have another idea because you're a creative, and you're going to just keep doing it, and it's going to be a cycle until you stop and you pause and you create a realistic schedule. So what do? I don't think I'm qualified right now to say what I do. I think that I'm honestly taking it one day at a time. One of the unrealistic ways that I used to work is I used to write a chapter a day. And when I came back to revise, I tried to revise a chapter a day. So I wanted to do the whole revision in a month. And that's just not realistic to where I am mentally and where I'm at emotionally. It's just not realistic. And now I try not to pressure myself to do a chapter a day. My book is pretty long. Like, I mean, some chapters could be like 4 pages, some could be more than 4. But I also have to remember I'm a newbie writer, and I wasn't someone who used to be good with language. I'm good at literature, but language, the grammars, the punctuations, making sure the beat and the rhythm of the moment is concise, making sure you're using the right words, making sure that you can, like, I like when you could picture something and people don't just say what is normal. Like, if you read fan fiction, there's some usage that we would say that everyone knows. Like, you just write it for writing. Like, it becomes cliche, right? If you keep using it over and over, it loses its power and it becomes cliche. Like, that's one of the things my mentor taught me. Like, roses are red, violets are blue is crap now because it's so overly used that it has no power. You just say it as a joke. It's not a, I don't know if it ever was meant to be like a love poem or whatever, but it definitely won't be. It's, if you write that on a card, people laugh at it because it's just so comedic, right? So talk. I'm telling myself to not talk too fast. It's a Bahamian thing, like we talk really fast. So I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. But yeah. So, Holy Spirit, where was I? Where was I, Lord? So yeah. So with that said, when I write, thank you God. When I write, I try to picture write the moment in a picture that be like, oh wow, ooh. So like, So it takes me a little longer, and then this is my first book, and like I say, I was not someone who was really good at language, so I would say I'm a beginner. I'm one of them writers who probably would not get a would have gotten an award in high school for language. Like, you might be different, and you'd be like, a chapter a day, that's easy. I'm trying to do 3 chapters a day. That is, okay. So, before, hopefully no one comes up in this room, but I wanted to say that we're creating a schedule, right? If you have a friend, ask them to look at that schedule and be like, do you think this is realistic? Because I realize sometimes I need my friend Trey to look at it and be like, Alex, what the hell? Like, and I would think I do so good with the schedule, and she'd be like, no, man, this is too tight, this is too full, you're doing, and she is a worker. So this isn't someone who's slacking. If you don't have that, what I want you to do is put down not only your goals, but also put down the needed things. You need friendship, you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need water. Whatever it is you need, if you need to go to church, you need to take a walking session every 30 minutes every day. Whatever it is, right? Put that in, put it in, put it in. And then this is what I've learned, this is what I like. Expect it to change. Expect the fact that something might pop up and you have to change your schedule, or you do your schedule, be like, okay, this isn't working, and you have to shuffle. Your first schedule does not have to be like your schedule for life. You make it and you tweak it, just how when you write in a draft, write in a book, you write it and you continue to edit and revise until it's what it's needed for your approval, for what you need. So do the same thing with your schedule. Don't procrastinate like I was tending to do. Tending, is that a word? Is that a word that should be used in this part? Whatever. What I was trying to do, what I was going to do, what I was tempted to do, bam. But I was tempted to procrastinate because I just didn't want it, because I'm like, writing a chapter feels too daunting. Then just write something every 5 days. Something every 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, take a break on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, you were like, no, I'm good, I'm gonna push through. If you can, then yes, because all of us are different. If you find yourself freaking out, if you find yourself, like, I found myself having breathing issues because, like, I was moving so much that by the time I was writing, I had to be like I was, like, took me a second to catch my breath. Literally, like, I was like that. And even when, like, I'm breathing good now, a lot of it is due to other areas in my life. Because I took a break, I was able to speak with friends, speak with church members, speak with whoever I needed to speak to, deal with mourning and grief, and deal with the other stuff, deal with career issues and all that stuff, so that way I can calm down. And let me tell you something, even though I write a little slower these days, because I know now I have to put a cap on it, my writing quality and what I think of for my characters has grown, because I now have a clear mind. So you might be getting the chapters out there, and I said this in one of my last ones, there is quality versus quantity. I believe it was a Korean cover. I can't remember. The thing is, oh my goodness, the video cover, the video template, I think it's great. There is quality versus quantity. You might finish it. First of all, listen, if you wanted to be a published author, you could write one little 20-page thing and put it up on Amazon and call it a day. If you want to be someone who's respected in the field, if you want to be someone who is proud of themselves for what they've accomplished, you are going to be much proud of yourself producing something of quality to the best of your abilities as possible, that you know you literally put everything that you could, even if a negative review come in, right? You put in every single thing, versus when you just put up crap and you know it crap. It's one thing when you try and it still is crap. Like, that's okay, because all of us, I feel, whether it was high school or actually publishing, all of us did crap before. All of us wrote crap before. But if you wrote crap on purpose and you publish that on purpose to meet a deadline, honey, sugar dumpling, you know, girl, take that off. Boy, take that off. No love lost. All of us gotta learn the hard way at something. Take it off. But yeah, that's all I have to say today. I hope you got something from this 25, pretty much probably be 26 minutes video recap. You are human first, okay? If you're a Christian, you're also a child of God first, which, trust me, Jesus believed in rest. So that was actually the main reason for me to slow down. One of the main reasons that I learned to pause and that I needed to take a break. You need to make a realistic schedule and tweak that schedule. Let someone look over that. You have to come out of that escapism. You have to be honest about what you need. Be honest about what you need. Be honest about what you can handle. There is no shame if you have to go slower than your friend, go slower than the group you're in. It is okay if you want to do the competition that they have in November. It's okay if you don't finish. It's okay. Like, that is fine. You have to go at your pace. Once you do it one step at a time. Remember now, you are a whole person. Writing is this much in the circle of who you are. It's not more. You be like, no, writing is like half of that circle. No, it's not. That just means you're not taking care of the other areas. It's one little thing. You're a whole person. You can't do that to yourself. You have to take care of all of you, so that whatever you do in excellence, you do in purpose. So that's all I have to say. Like I say, it's Valentine's Day. And if you watch this after Valentine's Day, which most of you probably would, because I'm about to edit chapter 19. Even though I already finished chapter 20, 21, and 22, I'm about to go and revise chapter 19. Okay? So I pray and I hope with all of my heart that you guys got something from this. Okay, the revisions don't look too much, so I might be able to finish it tonight. See, sometimes I could be and say, okay, these revisions ain't look that long. I think I could finish it. Sometimes it'd be like, child, this is gonna be 2 days. This is gonna be 3 days. I could need a drink, aka water. So have a beautiful, prosperous, and amazing day.